It takes a two-man crew to patch up some grass in an Olathe restaurant parking lot. Their boss of Hometown Lawn, David Brucker, looks on. Brucker's small business is a growing one that helps keep a roof over his family's heads. But believe it or not, Brucker says it wasn't always how he made a living.
It was a side project that then became the primary project for me.
That's because before he got back into the lawn and garden business, Brucker was a full-time civil engineer.
2008 was a good year, and the engineering firm was just getting ramped up, and then it was just coming back down.
Economists would come to call what Brucker and his firm were experiencing one of the deepest downturns since the Great Depression, and it hit them, Brucker says, like they could have never imagined. He says client funding for projects dried up and multi-million-dollar firms, hurting too, started competing for the same small projects as his firm.
You go through selling a thing here, selling a thing there, changing your habits. What are you doing that's costing more and that you can go without?
Something needed to change, so Brucker tried that something in 2009. He hadn't done it since high school.
I'm mowing on the weekends, owning an engineering firm, and making sure that all of our staff in the engineering firm is getting paid.
Brucker says it was only supposed to last until work at the firm picked up again, but weeks turned into months and months to years.
One thing I had no idea was when I went into engineering, I felt like I was going into a recession-proof business.
But the one business that seemed to be on the rise for Brucker was his so-called side job of cutting grass.
People were trying to decide, they were nervous and thinking, well, I'm just going to stay in my home now, and if I'm going to stay here, then I'm going to make it what I want.
Eventually, word of mouth and social media sites like Facebook helped build Brucker's clients for his new business. But if you ask him how he's been able to keep pushing through times when he was dipping into his retirement funds to pay the mortgage and making at the peak 75% less than what he used to, he'd point to one thing: family. In fact, he's enlisted his wife to help him with the business.
You have to find that strength to do what's right for those people.
Today, Brucker says almost all of the work he does is with the lawn and garden business. The rest, he says he's still lucky enough to do what he got his degree in, finishing up the construction of 3 dams.
What's left in that 5% is actually amazing opportunity. What I am finishing up or closing out from is an opportunity that very few civil engineers have the ability to ever encounter, let alone I was able to do it ×3.
As he peers out into the still water pushed up against the dams he's designed, he reflects on the lesson he's learned during this recession.
What you do is you have to really understand what you can control and what you can't control.
And it's that, he says, that you can't put a dollar figure on.